Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the EarLegAthlete here with.
Hey Dizzle.
Today, we've got another weekly roundup of Tarkov news, as well as some information about the Active Matter playtest and a major fumble over the weekend. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So first thing we have right off the rip, because there's not a lot going on. Again, it's another slow week on the Tarkov side. I think we've got an event coming up relatively soon. Not like next week or anything, but we're in June, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it August that the event was?
I think so. Yeah, I think August was the big event.
Yeah, the big event that had the cultist symbol next to it from the week
Yeah.
before. But we did get a new Nikileak. So we can go ahead and take a look at that, see what they've done, see what we get this, for little tidbits and teases. Yeah, this is I assume more Chronicles of Rizzy stuff, right? Anytime I see live action, I just assume Chronicles, or it's like
Yeah.
them heading to the range to do something. But
It could
this
also be movie stuff or 1.0. Like they might throw
that's
some actual
true.
legitimate. So I mean, there are chances it could be something else, but Rizzy's always my guess too. Like it just feels like most live action goes to the Chronicles of Rizzy.
And it seems like that's how they want to tell the Tarkov story now too, is just through the Chronicles. Maybe, I mean, at least this
Right.
story, the Rizzy Chronicles. We've gotten a lot of other information through that, but when you're in the world of Tarkov, going from trader to trader, you're gonna learn some stuff. So that could just be, yeah, who knows? They could have another short series worked up. They could have a movie in the works. I know there a fan movie getting made or something like that, like a BSG
There is
approved
right
fan
now.
movie.
Yeah, a bunch of
Yeah.
people are like, joining them to raise money for it and things. I believe it is the EOD. Is is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I think it
Edge
is.
of
The
Darkness?
Edge of Darkness, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds
yeah, it
right.
seems. Yeah, it is. It is Edge of Darkness. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which we
looks
don't
pretty
have any
cool.
information on that yet. It's been other than knowing they're working towards it, yeah, we don't know a lot. But yeah, so this could literally be anything. This could also just be ambient noise recording, which I don't see why they'd be walking through, but it is what it is. And then we get the RPD, right? Yeah, RPD.
Yeah, RPD. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, we get some new parts for it.
Yeah, we get looks like a new pistol grip and buttstock and well actually I can't really tell if the pistol grip's a new option or not. That's the start, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
That was
just
a
the
already option. It's
handguard and
the
the butt stock.
handguard and the
Yeah.
buttstock, yeah. Which is cool because now you can at least put lasers and flashlights on it off to the side, not having to run the Cobra sight and deal with that glare. And having a buttstock's always going to be nice.
Um, And just to point out, yeah, the in-game event with the cultists is July
July,
2025.
yeah.
It's the
August is another event.
16.8. Yeah, August is the large-scale event that leads to
That's it.
1.0.
Yeah. So
Um,
next
but
month we have the big event or the
yeah,
cultist event.
next patch 16.8 we get the cultist event. Yep.
What about muzzle brakes on the RPD? That's not a gun I run very often. Are you able to change those, or has it always been?
You haven't been able to. It
Because this
has
doesn't
had.
look like.
Well, I was gonna say it's had an adapter. It's got a threaded. In the barrel of it's like the end of the barrel's threaded, so it definitely is made to take things. And they showed a suppressor not too long ago in one of their teases, so I
Yeah,
would
this is.
imagine suppressor and a few other things are coming.
Yeah, I don't think this is the stock. It could be stock, but I'm not sure.
There's a couple different ones. There's a short stock and a long stock. The short stock does not.
No, sorry,
Uh,
stock manufacturer part, not butt stock.
oh, okay, okay,
I meant
gotcha, gotcha.
for the muzzle device. I can't tell if it's what was always on the RPD. I don't remember.
Um, that is not. No, that is an
Yeah.
actual. That's a new. Yeah, that's a. And actually, I think that's a
Handguard,
new
muzzle
barrel.
device.
I think that's a new barrel.
If
That
we
looks
get
like a new
RPD
barrel.
with this many adjustable or interchangeable parts, swappable parts, that's a whole new gun in my eyes.
Well, and the RPD has several versions. There's the RPD, the RPD-N, which just takes, it's kind of like the AK-74N versus the
Right.
AK-74. It's just able to accept sights. But there's a few different versions, so this could be a whole another version, possibly.
Yeah, this is cool though. getting to see the RPD get this much love,
Yeah,
it makes it
that
seem way more viable to run now. And
appears to be a new barrel. Definitely
yeah, that's
appears to be a new
short. That's
barrel.
very short,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You'll be able
Which
to
we had a short barrel, but I don't think it looked like that. I don't think it had all the imprints, the lines
yeah.
through it. I don't remember that. Um, and then it looks like it's got the saw, uh, maybe, or the Stark. I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. It could be the Sol, you're right.
I
The
think it's
Sol
a
and the
saw.
Stark
Yeah, I
look
think it's a
similar,
saw.
but I
Yeah, I
think the
think it's a
Sol has
saw.
those deep imprinted lines.
And the saw usually goes on the Russian weapons, and the
That's
Stark's
true.
usually UN.
US. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
UN. And then we have this. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure if it's just some sort of
the camera movement
cutscene.
is
Yeah,
is
it's
what's
weird.
weird
Is it a cutscene? Is it just the at
because
first my first thought was like downstate because that weird camera like
and that's possible.
just the way
That's
because it's like he's
possible.
pulling his it's like he's lifting his head up almost and we're
Yeah,
only seeing it part of it. I don't know though.
but
Purely
yeah, because I mean,
speculation. Yeah.
you can do that in game right now. Like you can lay down and move your head around, but the camera does
Right.
not look like that. Like there's definitely
Yeah,
something
it's
different going on
more
there.
this also could be for a cutscene, right? Because we know
Yeah,
in-game cutscenes and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. But yeah, I don't this could be several different things in my opinion. I don't if I had to guess one, I would probably just flat out say this is a cutscene.
yeah, yeah. That's the first thing I really thought of. But the
As
downstate's a
much
good
as I
guess
want
too.
downstate, yeah, I just I don't like you said when I think we were talking about it off stream or off recording. You had said that he's on his stomach though, and that was like, yeah, that's a really good
Yeah.
point because you'd think downstate, your friends are working on you, you're on your back.
Well, they could
Like
do
you
it kind of like they do in DayZ. Like depending on where you get shot from, if you get shot behind you, you fall forward. If you get
fall
shot in
forward
front
or
of you, you fall
backwards.
backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like it could be something like that.
will
And
Tarkov go
just
that far with it? You think?
real quick on the downstate, I don't know if I like the downstate.
I'm on the fence about it.
Like
I don't think
I
Tarkov
feel
needs it.
like no, I feel like that's what separates Tarkov from other games is you can go in as a solo, run into a group of 3, and if you bust out 3 awesome headshots, you win that fight. No one's getting somebody else up, no one's healing their buddy where the other guy holds you
Right,
off.
right.
Like you win that fight. And if
Yeah,
you give
and that's how it should
healing
be.
your or down states, then you lose that fight more than likely because
Yeah, I
the
mean,
first one that dies, they're all just going to retreat and heal. You know what I mean? Like that's
100% right.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm with you
people
on
don't
that.
fight as much when there's down states.
No, and you're already essentially disconnecting yourself from a fight and having to heal anyways. Like you're doing all your in surgery, you're doing all this and that. All the downstate is going to do is just like it's just going to extend that timer. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I I would like to see downstate in a PvE environment, not in a PvP environment.
right.
And Tarkov's not the game that's going to come in and separate the two. They're just not.
Yeah, where I'm mostly a solo player. I've never liked the downstate in games because I feel like
Well,
that's the one
you're already
thing
playing
a lot of other
behind.
games. Yeah, well, that's the one thing a lot of other games get wrong is like that's why so many people can't play solo versus squads because like Call of Duty or any game like that, it's like as soon as you kill one, they just scoot over to their buddies. Their buddies just blind fire at you to hold you off, and then their other buddies healing them up, and it's like you're back to fighting 3 again. It just that's how
Yeah,
every fight
potentially
goes, and
killing
it's
4, 5, 6 people in
yeah,
one
yeah,
interaction against a 3-man is not an
yep.
enjoyable time. I don't. I
And
don't.
if they kill you once, it's just over. You know what I mean? Like you have no
Right,
one to pick you up. Now Arc
right.
Raiders kind of does it cool because enemies can
Anybody can get you
heal.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of
There's
like
this politicking that
that.
comes in, like, hey man, you
Right.
could be fighting with
So it's
someone
like
and potentially talk your way out of that situation and still make it out of raid, which is
well,
kind of
it's
cool.
just cool because they give solos the same downstate that duos,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like giving solos the downstate. If Tarkov was to go that route, I still don't like it. But if they do
No,
go with a downstate, I would prefer it to be like that.
yeah, if I can bring myself out of it or just wait a period of time or whatever the stipulation may be. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd rather just see Tarkov continue to be what Tarkov is, maybe even a more advanced healing situation potentially if people want more medical situations happening. but I think they do a really good job already. Light bleeds, heavy
Yeah.
bleeds, fractures, blacked out limbs, tumors, trimmers.
Tumors. I got a tumor.
I got a tumor. Yeah, trimmers
Well,
and stuff
6
like
months
that.
down the line,
So
you're gonna be hurt.
yeah, it's gonna suck later on in a different raid. But yeah, there's enough things medical wise going on and healing wise
Yeah.
that I think Tarkov's in a good place on that. I don't think
And,
downstate
and
really solves any problems, but like if it was
no.
PvE specific downstate, that's cool because it just adds a little flavor. And it's not really hurting the loop. But on PvP, a downstate in a game like Tarkov is
Yeah.
potentially the
I don't like it.
worst thing for Tarkov.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's
Um,
like I said, that's the difference with Tarkov and all the other games. Is Tarkov does not. If you're in a group, that doesn't mean you get a second chance just because you're in a group. Because
right.
that's what games do. They put downstate in just for the sake of having it in. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why do you get a second chance because you have a buddy? You have the same amount of health I have. It's
Right.
like if you
Well,
kill
especially when you're
me
like
and I
headshotting
kill
people
you,
and
yeah,
hitting clean
yeah, there
shots. It's
shouldn't.
like that person's dead.
Yeah,
And I get it. Games break the realism cycle to a point, but when you're doing realistic shooters, specifically realistic shooters, or at least shooters that are using some sort of grounded realism, like you kind of just have to honor the death. You just have to be okay
yeah.
with it. Get
Like you
better
said, it
or
works
get
cool.
outplayed.
It works really cool in PvE games. Like if
Yeah.
you're, doing some co-op and like one of your buddies goes down and you don't want to have to like start all over. It's like, yeah, you can revive your friend. But in PvP, I've never liked it in games.
It'll
I've
ruin
never
it. Yeah.
understood. Yeah, I just don't know why it's like a must for every game.
Yeah.
Like even
It
PUBG started doing it, and like
it
now
just
you can
extended
get like
things out.
self
You can just
revives.
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get self revives. So even as a solo, you're in the open field, someone headshots you, you can scoot behind a rock, and before they get to you, you're gonna heal up, and I just feel like it just makes the fighting cheap. Like it
It
just,
does. Yeah.
I don't know, I don't
It's a
know.
good way to say it. It cheapens the fight for sure. It does.
Yeah,
So yeah, BSG, no downstate, please.
yeah, Nikita, if
Keep
you're listening.
Tarkov a grind. Yeah. Next, we have the most perplexing thing yet. I think it's a pretty straightforward, obvious thing: new character models. But yeah, I don't know. No, there's just this look at the ocean. I guess relax a little bit. Remember to take a step back and just enjoy it. It's literally just a clip of them looking out at the ocean. I assume for water texture
Yeah,
purposes and things, or potentially even like I know this is stuff like Nikita said a few times when he posts these like cool stuff I have on my phone. So it's like
right.
sometimes you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. Sometimes there's something there, sometimes there's not. But we'll move past the water. They could that could be a clip they use to generate their water and simulate it and everything else. Who fucking knows, right? We
Yeah,
could
there's
speculate some
could be
gnarly
anything.
way to tie it to Tarkov, right? But yeah, we're gonna say it's just a reminder, just to
Yeah,
step back and smell the salt water.
yeah,
If you don't live near the ocean, just go put some salt in your water and take a sniff.
or just move by the ocean.
Yeah, just buy a house at the ocean. Buy an ocean
Much
house.
easier. Yep.
And then we have old Nine Finger Keen here. Big dog's strumming that guitar.
Yeah, he is
No idea what's going on with
playing
that
some
one.
bass.
I don't have any speculation for that. If you want to,
Um,
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I mean, obviously, just putting probably some soundtracks to something.
That's well, actually, you know what? With the cassette players coming in,
Yeah, yeah. There's gonna be a
that
lot
could
more
make
music
sense.
added, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense. Uh,
All the cutscenes and stuff with 1.0 are gonna have music. Like, there's probably gonna be new music all over the game. So yeah, probably just recording,
yeah,
or it
yeah.
could just be Nikita and his buddy just jamming.
Jamming out, working on some new Gene Burn music,
That's right.
which is all game
Now,
soundtrack stuff anyway. So I mean,
do we have fizzy beer?
it looks fizzy, right?
And
But
then it
it
goes
also, I
away.
was thinking maybe it's empty. I don't know. But
Well, look,
yeah.
then, or
Oh,
no,
you
I
know
can't
what? I think it's
tell.
just like rendering potentially.
No, it looks like there's liquid in there. It looks like there is fizz. Yeah, you can see it.
Maybe they might be going over above and beyond. This could also be another in-raid cutscene situation or in-game cutscene where you're talking to like one of the lieutenants or something, and they're like, "Have a beer," something weird.
It
One thing I want to point out
also,
though is that camo. That's a German flak
yeah,
tarn. That's a new pattern.
yeah, the
Or no,
glove looks new too.
that's not even flak tarn. Actually, that's like a how the U.S. military did that weird fucking what's it called? It's like the square pattern style. Digital urban, I think is what they called it,
Oh,
maybe
urban,
urban digital
yeah,
or something. But yeah,
yeah,
you know
urban
what I'm talking
camo,
about,
yeah,
right?
urban, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a German Flecktarn, but in the urban print potentially, like collar scheme wise, is Flecktarn.
Do you
Um,
recognize the glove?
I don't actually,
I don't either.
not at all. Do we
Um,
see? No, it doesn't move. I don't know.
and just to throw this out, this is far fetched.
Let
When
me
the
listen.
GTA 6 trailer came out, everybody was making such a big deal because Rockstar had put like fizz into the beer. So maybe
Uh,
BSG just messing around, being like,
they
"Hey,
are
look,
trolls.
Battlestate Games can do
Yeah.
it too." You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see them doing something stupid like
Fuck
that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's
Absolutely.
very far fetched, but I could also see Nikita do that. Be like, "Yeah, we can do it too." So just the troll, just to maybe post a picture one time. Like that could be
Right.
the only
Yeah.
time you ever see it.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. After that, we've got okay. This is where I think first thought was arena, right, with the map.
Yeah,
That was my first initial thought, but then I started looking around the map and looking at all the pieces of it, and in the back of it, you kind of see these screen like boards, like at a terminal or an air, like any kind of entering and departing type situation. Is kind of what that reminded me of because I just see like lines of text. Could be
yeah, like a
completely
bus
off
station.
basis, knowing terminals coming. Yeah, it could be bus station. It could be air, not an airport, but a port for in and out for the
Like a ship,
waterway to
yeah,
leave
yeah.
Tarkov. Yeah, because before Tarkov went down, obviously it was a normal place. It had regular things happening, so I could just kind of see it. And knowing that
Oh, and
this area
it's
has been protected by whoever, UN maybe, or potentially the Russian Federation or whatever it is. So it makes sense for it to look relatively clean and not too beat up or anything, and like in good shape.
the top-down view does make it look arena-ish because you look at like it's got like the 3 lane, the classic like COD 3 lane. You got your left,
Right.
right, middle. Um, but there is an awful lot going on there. So looking at it
Well, in all those
with you
doorways, it
know
also looks like aren't connected to anything, so it's like it's a building you're in. And those
right.
are like
Well,
exterior
and that's what I'm
walls. I
saying.
don't know.
Looking at it from this angle, it's just it's hard to really tell. You know what I mean?
It is very hard to tell. But either way, we definitely have a new map in the works. With a new arena map coming out so soon or so recently, I
Yeah,
don't know if they would dump another one this quickly. It's
I feel
possible.
like they've
They
been dropping
did
arena
say,
maps like all the time.
yeah, I was gonna say they did say they're up in the amount of arena maps coming out. Like they're getting more out.
But
They want to get caught up on those. But this looks
they released like what 3 in the
Tarkovish
last
too.
like couple months.
Yeah, I'd say in like the last. I don't want to shortchange it. Maybe 6 months. They've probably dropped 3 maps.
Yeah, so
Maybe less time than that. I was gonna say 4 at first, but I don't know if that's accurate. So I'll take the long shot. But yeah, I could see this going either way. Honestly, I could see this being arena or in base game.
yeah, same.
The underground area, the dead rooms with no. It doesn't appear to have any obvious lanes to travel through that side, unless it's just purely or just for to bring the map to life, purely organic type situation. That's oh hey, here's these barriers. Let's make them a wall. But this
Yeah,
side,
it's
all
hard to
these
tell.
doorways on the left side are open, so it's or not open, but like the rooms are actually accessible. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm gonna say base game map potentially, maybe a
Yeah,
terminal
yeah, I'm
situation.
I'm base game on that
Yeah,
just because of all the doors and things. I don't see them doing that with arena.
no, not without access through them, and that doesn't look to be the case. Yeah, I can't make out anything else from it. Here's just a cool location. I was thinking reserve, maybe like train depot,
Reserve
but
or customs,
oh, you know
like
what? Customs would make sense.
looks very customish, but it also looks like live shot. Like it might just be a location that they're modeling, or who knows.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, but it does look cool. Somehow muted my mic there. It does look cool. It's an interesting place. And then we have more map design stuff. This is definitely base
Yeah.
game related. Um, I don't know on that one. It could be a multitude of things. I don't have much to say on
Yeah.
that one.
Could be anything.
It's not a lot of information is given there. It's still very early in the process. The next clip, though, knowing we have a Caldist event coming, this one makes me think that at first I was like, that's an ultrasound because the right side picture kind of was like, what the fuck is this going in? Like, I don't know, one of the updates to one of the maps, there's going to be ultrasounds hanging on the wall or something showing
Right. They could
fractures or
hang it.
like,
Yeah. In a
yeah, like
hospital or
in
a doctor's
yeah,
office.
something. That was my just initial thought. But then I remember the cultist event, and I was like, because I don't know I don't know. This left side picture, the bottom chunk of it,
Looks like an
like
alien.
yeah, it looks like an alien. And the top chunk, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think
I
it could
don't know
go
what
either
that is.
way. I'm genuinely not sure.
Yeah. I
Um,
have no idea.
it's interesting. It makes me question what it could be. The right side picture also kind of looks like somebody's ear potentially, and like that's their face. But if that's their face, is that really what the eye sockets look like? I don't think so. But it could also be a nose with the eye sockets, and that's their mouth,
Well, it definitely looks like a face. Like you can see the
right?
nose, the mouth, yeah, you can see all that.
Like a
So it
mustache
could
and or something, because certain things
it
do
could
come
be a
through.
poster. It could be a crazy poster, a new poster, like and it just like a movie advertisement, like a lore themed movie advertisement or something for a poster. Who knows?
Yeah, but it is interesting. It does make me curious as to what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is
that's a
or
weird
what it
one.
could be. Um, if anybody's seen an ultrasound that looks like this, tell us what it is. That would be awesome because I have no idea. But yeah, it could be poster. It could be a multitude of things. And then this one I think is definitely a poster. I think we're getting a cool woods themed like poster,
Yeah.
and it looks pretty interesting. It looks good. And then just a little more water physics stuff potentially, or just a nice background. But here's the next big thing. Um, Tarbank, for whatever reason, they are putting work to it, or maybe this was like an early version of it. Um, I don't know
Yeah,
what they would be doing to Tarbank specifically because I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. There could be a
well,
Ground Zero expansion, maybe.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they're just doing a rework of Ground Zero, they're probably just touching up certain things, probably just, fixing anything and everything on the map. And usually
Yeah,
when they do reworks, they change everything a little bit. So it could just be that.
that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah,
It's definitely Ground Zero. It's definitely the Tarbank
yeah, well,
area.
yeah, absolutely is.
It could even be like seasonal with the summer coming. Maybe they're updating
Oh
bushes.
yeah,
Maybe they're, you
weather
know what I mean?
change
Like,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
fixing foliage and all that. Yeah.
yeah,
But then we're back to the beginning. So that's it for the Nikileak. I think a couple pretty cool bits of information in there. Knowing that we have some sort of map design stuff going on and coming this way is always fun. But yeah, we can go ahead and go on to the next subject, which is the weekly boss spawn is Kaban this week.
yes.
And I think I'm gonna be on there grinding that one out pretty hard. I wanted to do Killa. I'm also really strapped for time right now. I don't have a lot of time to get on in game, so I didn't get to get Killa done. Am I upset about it? Not really at all. We had a blast doing the 0 to hero run on him. That was so fun.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, that was fun.
go in with the
And there'll be more.
melee.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there'll be
Oh
more
yeah.
chances.
Yeah. It'll
That's
rotate.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
but Kaban is always a fun fight, always, because you have to go into the compound. So it's not just Kaban you're fighting. You're fighting all the
it-
guards, all the
the
scavs.
snipers. Yeah. And everything
Yeah,
coming in and
it's
out of
just a
there.
it's just a fun fight.
Yeah, and there's still, as well as we have like a good strategy down for it, there's times that we just die to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gunners not leaving their post after you throw a couple grenades, just staying on it, and you're like, oh shit, he's
It's
there. Oh,
those
you know,
it's those damn snipers throwing those grenades is what
dude, the
always gets
snipers
me.
with grenades, like they will lob them across into the bank. It's rough. It can be really rough. So the opportunity to just know he's consistently going to be there and be able to go in over and over and over again, that's great. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. I don't
a lot
think.
of loot.
Oh yeah, that is true too. There is a lot of loot. If you have the keys, you can make a decent chunk off just extra stuff there too. And then he can spawn with some relatively decent stuff.
Yeah. Key cards, ammo. Because, if he's got the PKP, then he's got
7.62, 56
a few
R.
hundred rounds. Yeah, a few hundred rounds of some really good ammo.
Yeah, that is also very true. He has anywhere from like 2 to 3, 400 rounds sometimes.
Yeah.
And well, 300 is probably
Yeah.
the most I've seen him with,
Sometimes,
but yeah. I
I
don't know if I've
was
seen
going
him
to say,
with 4
sometimes
total mags.
I've seen him with at least 3, and that's 600 rounds. Because it's
Yeah.
200 rounds per mag.
Oh, that's right. They are 200. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So potentially a lot of ammo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of his guards, all the extra bodies you're gonna clear out inside of there, and then locked rooms and things like that. There's always a good chunk of stuff. And it's like Adam said a minute ago. It's just a fun fight. It is just genuinely a good time to go in there and learn the Kaban strats as well as getting it down and being able to kill him consistently because he roams a little bit, and he's one of those bosses that takes more than just a headshot or two. You really have to lay into him. So there's always that chance that he's kind of coming around a corner as you're looking for him, and you end up in a face-to-face scenario with old Kaban, and it can be pretty treacherous. It can be scary for sure because he'll just start unloading, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, he can be difficult. And just to correct real quick, it's 100 rounds per drum, not 200.
okay. I
I've been playing other games, and other games have 200 round mags. So
That's fair.
it's
Yeah.
100 round mags.
100 round mags, at least in Tarkov. But yeah, still,
Yeah.
even at 100 round mags, 3 of them typically, he
Yeah.
has 3. That's a shit ton of ammo. That is
Well, I mean, because usually he's
7.62 by
rocking like
54R.
PS or BT or BS or LPS,
Yeah, it's
T46,
something
like
very
all those are
usable.
good rounds. Yeah. But then he can also spawn with the MK43 or the M60, which the M60 and MK43 are the same thing. But with those, even you get
You get
the
7.62,
big 100
51
round,
ammo, yeah.
yeah, 100 round mags of M80 or M62 or M61. So it's just a lot of good ammo.
Yeah. Plus his guards usually rock high tier ammo as well.
Yeah.
But
And they
yeah,
can also he can spawn with the 100 drum mag of the RPK, so you can have the
ooh,
Golnik
that's
7
true.
and 40 BS. Yeah, like that's the one thing is you're guaranteed to get a large amount of some kind of ammo.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not too sure on strategies, we did make a video about it. We had a Talking Tarkov where we covered it pretty extensively, and we've hunted
Yeah,
Kaban and Kalante a few times. Kalante is irrelevant in this conversation, but there's a few videos that we've done going after him.
yeah,
But we do have a Talking Tarkov episode specifically devoted to Kaban and Kalante, and we give them both a reasonable amount of time, and we go over the strategies that we use. In
and
our
then
opinion,
even our low penetration video too, where we used low penetration
that's
ammo.
true.
That's what we
Yeah,
did. We
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 went rogue.
got Kalante and Kaban in the same raid,
Yeah, yeah. Dude, we get
which
them
is
all the
kind of
time,
crazy. Yeah,
surprisingly. But yeah, good reference points, good little strategies. We think they work really well. We see good success with them. Granted, the compound is a compound, so infiltrating is hard even when you know the strat. So it's, just be cautious, pay attention. Listen for those grenades because they will be throwing them.
yeah,
But yeah, other than that, I don't I'm Kaban's your weekly boss spawn. Have fun. Good luck.
yep.
And then
And
we
now,
have what we first speculated would potentially be wallpaper. I think you were the one that said it, but one of us definitely
yeah,
said in the
yeah,
other Talking Tarkov that these could be clothing options. But the way they had screened it in the previous Nikileak they gave us before we saw that they were actually clothing, it looked like a wallpaper. It was just the print that's on the shirts, but it was like a high res print. So it was,
right.
but yeah, Arena Battle Pass Season 2.
Yep. Summer theme makes sense. You got summer season going in.
Yeah, the Arena Battle Pass should be resetting and moving on to the next one. Which I'm definitely gonna want to get these. I mean, there's a chance that they put these in the store, like for the EFT base game store. I think Arena's the funnel point, though. I don't know if they're gonna
Yeah.
keep doing like, hey, just purchase these outright without a way to get them in game. Maybe I don't know.
There's also a chance that they actually move the battle pass to regular Tarkov also, where you can earn both ways.
It's true.
And that could be part of the summer season launch, part of
Yeah,
the
that would be
deal.
cool. That would actually
Yeah.
be pretty cool. I like the idea of that because I know that they're working on a currency converter for EFT base game. And I know that they're working on getting Ref over to PvE. So I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised to see those two things come to fruition with the summer update, especially if they are wanting to bring this kind of stuff over to it as well. Those would have to be in place. So, but yeah, new clothing one way or another. If you can unlock them in Arena, you can use them in EFT. So there's incentive to go over and do your dailies at least and try to unlock some of these shirts because they are cool. Tell me you don't want to be on your PMC running around fucking woods, shoreline, streets, wherever,
Well, is that
looking
tattoo new too?
super slick. Yeah, okay. So that's the other thing. The watch on left side shirt is new. I think those mechanics gloves are new. I'm colorblind. I can't tell if that's red though. They look red.
That's new. Yeah, it's red. Yeah, it's
Okay.
red and black. It's definitely new. And
Um,
the undershirt would
yeah,
be
that's
cool if that's part of a base character now, because even the one below that, you can see
yeah, it
a
has
black
like the
undershirt.
sleeves on. Yeah,
So that feels a lot more like purchasable,
yeah, that's like you can put
like
the
skins.
shirt over it potentially. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
not. But yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I do like the sleeves. The tattoos are absolutely new. We have new watches, I think, on both wrists, and then we have like bandana bracelets or something, red and blue bandana bracelets.
yeah,
Um, couple different things. Tattoos on both hands, actually. Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Both arms. It goes all the way up both arms.
Yeah. Oh, I see that now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's slick. I think these look really good. I'm excited to see them in game and try them out. You know, run around with my bright Hawaiian shirt on as I'm trying to slay people. But unfortunately, that's the end of the Tarkov. Do you have anything about Tarkov before we move
No,
on?
no, that's it. Unfortunately, there's
You
just
wanna?
not a lot going on.
No, there's really not. Well, oh, they almost saw who the tourist maker was. I guess we start with the fumble.
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about that.
So over the
And
weekend, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just to kind of uh, last thing about Tarkov, it's definitely like getting close to launch, and you can tell because everything's slowed way down. They're
Oh yeah,
working on mostly bug fixes and things like that, so I feel like that's why we're not getting a whole lot. Which in reality, we're still getting a lot of new stuff, but we're not there for a while. We were getting like brand new like big patches like every couple weeks. It felt like, um, but eventually, it's going to drop 1.0, and when it does, we'll be right back
right
to
back to
where
the
we were.
races. Yeah,
And yeah, so it's like if you're
we're just in the
disappointed with
lull.
the news and the amount of videos and the length of the talking Tarkovs and stuff, it's definitely going to kick back in gear soon. So don't worry. That's
Well,
it.
and
That's all I want to say.
they keep dropping just enough to give us stuff to talk about too. So while we have plans for other episodes and things, we always feel like this kind of takes precedent because it's current event stuff. But
Right.
yeah, the lull always dies down. Late wipe Tarkov, people stop playing as much. They're working on the next patch. They're trying to get stuff ready, so it does slow down on their end. It slows down on the game side as well. Um, but we have other things to fill our time,
Yes, we
and
do.
one of those things was going to be Arc Raiders. We thought.
Yeah.
There was a
Everybody thought.
little, yeah. They had the correct me if I'm wrong, but they had a countdown timer in the exe files for Arc Raiders.
Yeah,
And
it
the
was
only people that were
hidden
even able to
inside.
find it were those that still had the game installed.
Yeah, yeah. People who still had the game installed basically got an update one day, and when they opened the update, it took them to an exe file that was hidden. When you clicked on that, it took you to a website that had a countdown. So, they went through a lot of work to make this. So everyone's like, well, that's crazy. This must be the release date. Well, then they
Right.
started looking into it, and it's like that countdown coincides with Summer Games Fest. They have a habit of dropping their games during Summer Games Fest. And guess what? Arc Raiders happens to be one of the games that's promoted by Summer Games Fest. So it
Right.
just started lining up. Everything started looking like, oh, it's
Oh
going to be a
shit,
shadow
it's June
drop.
6th.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. And they did
And
it
for the
with
simple fact,
the finals.
they had, yeah, that's how they launched the finals,
Yeah.
was during Summer Games Fest. It was just a shadow drop. No one knew it was coming. But going through all that trouble, doing all that to build more hype, everybody's already loving the game and waiting for it to release, or at least wanting another open beta or something to play some more Arc Raiders. And Arc Raiders was feeding into that. making it seem like, you know, something was happening soon. And it wasn't just that, not just that update. They were also dropping like cryptic puzzles that you had to like, people that were really into it were uncovering all that stuff. And like, so there was a lot of stuff being put into the hype, making people think that something big was coming on, you know, the
On this, yeah,
Summer
like
Games
very
Fest.
near.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that's where everyone was, and then that day came
yeah.
and
The ball was dropped.
they did not release Arc Raiders. They
Oh,
dropped a mid trailer
a
with a
very mid
release
trailer.
date for October 30th. So
Yeah,
a countdown
to a
to another
countdown.
countdown with the only thing that everybody got for all that time waiting and trying to uncover all the secrets and finding all the hidden files. The only thing they got was a mid launch trailer that wasn't even good and barely showed anything new and seemed like it took them maybe 20 minutes to make. Like, not putting down their work. Obviously, it's a great game, and that's why everyone's so disappointed. That's why
Yeah,
I'm being so
yeah,
harsh. But they clearly knew what they were doing. They knew the hype they were building. And then they do this. They drop a release date with a bad trailer. Like, that's all I can really
yeah,
say. Like,
yeah. That's. I mean, that's what
so
it is. You have to call it for what it is. And it seems
yeah.
to me that what they were looking at was potentially trying to release Arc Raiders on the 6th. And for
It
whatever reason, who knows, potentially something went sideways and they were like, shit, we need time, push it back because like you said, the trailer's bad. Like no way around it. It's just
well,
not a good trailer. It's not what you would expect for somebody putting this cryptic puzzle and all this work together to make it seem like, oh, big news, big news.
right.
That seems weird. It seems weird. The whole situation
It
seems weird.
does.
But
But what seems so weird is they clearly have working builds of the game that work fine.
yeah, the
So there's
last
absolutely
playtest that
no
we played
reason.
in.
Yeah, even the one before that. I played the one before that when no one was talking about Arc Raiders. Like, I've been in the last two playtests. Not much had really changed over the last two. Like, yeah, there was definitely changes, but
The
like
core game felt good. Yeah.
they've had a working game that anybody could play. And that's what I don't understand. Like, I expected them to drop it in early access,
Right, let
let
people
people
buy the game.
pre-order.
Yeah.
Yeah, let people pre-order and you get access to the game and you basically can play the game while they add more stuff to it. That's what I thought they were going for.
Which would
But
make sense. That would be reasonable.
the worst part is they kept quiet the whole time, knowing everybody was expecting them to launch. Almost every streamer that you can think of was watching that Summer Games Fest and ready to play Arc Raiders after that. Like, they were expecting it to drop, and
Right.
it was bad PR by them. They had a chance to capitalize on the very good PR they were getting from the playtest.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. All you ever heard was Marathon's trash, Arc Raiders is great,
Yeah.
and it just they fumbled, man. It was a
This is the one
gigantic
time
fumble.
that they should have taken the gray zone route. They should have dropped the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
on the
absolutely.
6th. Absolutely. The game
Well,
was playable. It looked good. The fan base is there.
yeah,
Everybody is ready and waiting. You have
and that's
huge
the thing.
hype for
They've
the
been working
game.
on it forever. It's not an
Yeah, dude,
early
it's so
game. It's not
good.
an
It's
early
so
build.
good.
Like, it's a finished game almost. Like, they've been working on it for years and years and years.
Right.
Like, it's
How could they
so
need
crazy to
another 6
me.
months? Sure, something may have happened catastrophic. You never know. We really don't know what actually happened. But from what
But
we've given information wise, it doesn't sound like that's the case.
well,
It
that's what I'm
genuinely
even saying.
sounds
It's
like they
like,
just dropped the ball here. Like they just fumbled.
and nothing really catastrophic can happen because they can always just upload an
Just
older
revert to the
build. Like,
previous build. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Be like, okay,
They have
that broke
copies of
it. Try
everything.
again. Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't make
yeah.
sense. It genuinely doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. But needless to
Um,
say, everybody was disappointed, so they had to respond. They were getting review bombed on their other games, the finals. They were
which
just
let's clear the air on
the
that. We don't agree with that. Don't go
no,
review a game
no,
that's not the studio and the developers are two different things. The finals, we don't know the team that worked on that versus the team that was working on Arc Raiders. Even if it is the same team, it's not the same game. Take it easy
right,
on
and
that.
it's
Don't go review bomb something that is possibly a good game. I don't play it anymore, but I don't know where it's at. But it's just not worth it to just because you're upset that the Arc Raiders situation happened. It's
There's
just
plenty
not
of
the way
other
to go
ways
about
to
it.
show
There's
your
other outlets.
frustration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
plenty of other ways. I get it. That's one way to get their attention. If you start hurting their other game, it's like, okay, but it's not going to force them to change anything. What's done is
No,
done.
right.
It's not the end of the world. They're still going to release the game. It's going to be a polished version of the game. It's going to have more things. Like, I'm not defending their decision to play it the way they did, but it's still going to work out in the end. Like, it's still
Yeah,
going to be a great game.
it's still gonna be something everybody
And
wants to play. It's still gonna get
I was
the
going to
hype that it
say,
deserves.
and yeah, we don't agree with the review bombing. It just doesn't do anybody any favors because now a game completely, uh,
Unrelated,
yeah,
outside of
is
studio.
getting, and it's had very good positive reviews. Like the finals has been a very well received game. Like everybody that I hear that plays it, they talk good about it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but if you want to read what they said, that this is what they end up
Yeah.
saying to the community.
So we've got a hello Raiders from a man named Dusty. He is apparently within the ARC team.
Yeah, this was from the Discord.
In the lead up to the ARC Raiders date reveal, we put a countdown to June 6th. This gave the false impression that we would be shadow dropping the game. Instead, you found out that ARC Raiders is coming on October 30th, making it a countdown to a countdown. The frustration and disappointment that followed is 100% our fault. The teaser we posted came from a place of genuine excitement. We finally have an actual date, but it's clear that what we saw as playful and hype building came across as misleading and frustrating to many of you, and we get why. We mismanaged the hype, we misread the situation, and we're so sorry that this led to disappointment. We're making this game for you, and your reaction to Arc Raiders has been humbling and overwhelming as well as exciting. That's not how they said it, but I hate reading and multiple times. Next steps, we're putting our heads down and focusing on the building team. Or sorry, on the build. Next steps, we're putting our heads down and focusing on building the game. We know that games live and die by polishing quality, balance, and long-term fun. We need this additional time to ensure we can meet your expectations. Look here and on our socials for updates on our progress and our road to the launch. Thank you for holding us to a high standard. We intend to meet it. Dusty and the Arc Raiders team. So yeah, if the trailer was
Decent
better,
response.
right? The response is fine. I'm okay with the response.
Yeah, there's
I
not
am.
like
It's just
they
the
owned it.
actions don't the actions that
Yeah, it
were
still
taking
doesn't
up
make
to this don't
sense.
match to what Dusty's saying. Even like
Yeah, it's things still don't make sense. Like there's
yeah,
something that we just don't know about or
we're
something.
missing a
It
piece of
feels
the
like
puzzle for
something.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because he's like, the
and
teaser we posted came from a place of genuine excitement. We finally have an actual day. Like, cool, but why didn't, if that was the case, wouldn't you have a much better release trailer? Like, this is it. This is the hype building. Like, let's explode. Like, we put a countdown to this to
yeah,
give them a countdown. This is it. We have the date. We have the footage. We have everything. Let's like, you should be hyped. And they
yeah.
were.
It was
And you give us a
like a
really
minute and a half.
shoddy, just like not good trailer. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it was
bad
like
is
a
the
minute
best
and
way
a
to
half,
explain it.
maybe 2 minutes. Like the trailer, like it was very short. Like it
Right.
just didn't show hardly anything new. Most of it wasn't even gameplay. It was all just rendered. Like
Right.
it
Yeah.
was
Just
just
slices and stuff.
yeah, it was just weird. And
Yeah.
coming
Like it
from
was just
a
thrown
studio
together.
that they had done everything so right up until that point, and that's a lot of it. Is everyone had high expectations because of the things they had done, the way they had been handling things. They had been saying the right things, doing the right things.
The way the game played in the playtests.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
looked
like
good. They were
everyone.
handling it well. Yeah, like it was almost the perfect scenario. Um, but again, the fumble. But yeah, like that one sentence throws me off because it's just like the teaser we posted came from a place of genuine excitement. Like, no, it didn't. It couldn't have because it like that's a horror. Like it's just bad. I don't want to say horrible, but it's
I
bad.
mean,
It's not. It's not good.
it's possible like that's just what they came up with because they're not known for their teasers. Like so maybe they're just bad at teasers. That
Maybe,
is possible.
maybe, maybe.
But
I'll give
I
him
still
benefit of the
don't.
doubt on that.
Yeah, I
It
still
doesn't
doubt
add
it.
up. Yeah, it just doesn't add
No.
up. It's a weird scenario that happened. The whole thing doesn't really make sense. Putting a countdown like that, cryptically hidden
Yeah.
in the files, especially like anytime people have done that or studios have done that, it's for the release date. It's or at least like the
Well,
next playtest or like something big that actually equates to something value.
they had a loading screen when you clicked on the exe. Had a loading screen that loaded into like the home page of the game when you go to play it, and then they had a play button, and when you would try to click the play button, it would jump around all over the screen so you couldn't actually hit it. Like they
Funny.
went and put in a bunch of stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Now they say wait
Obviously
6 months. That's so weird.
4 months technically, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we're covering this is because this is an extraction shooter. Yes, it's third person. Yes, it's not probably going to be like our main game. We're not rebranding the channel to Arc Raiders
Right.
like some people have done.
Not by any means. Yeah.
But like, it's genuinely a decent, not even decent. It's a very good game, and it plays well. It does what it does very well, and for that reason, I do enjoy it. I will play it. Ryan, I'm sure will play it. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
You like the
was
short time
fun.
that you had with it.
Yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. It's a solid game. Like you said, it's not replacing anything, but it's a,
No.
when I'm bored with Tarkov or I'm waiting on whatever, updates happening,
Well,
there's reasons to play other games.
It's going to blow up. It's going to.
Yeah,
it's
it's
going to
good.
blow
It's
up.
a great game. It is a good game.
Yeah. It's going to be the next big thing, and we're covering it because it's huge news. We're not covering it like other people do, where they count every little teaser and every little thing. This was just, it was sad and funny at the same time because everybody got so hyped and then everybody got let down.
Really
I was
let
watching
down,
so many
yeah.
streamers. I went back and watched so many as they watched it live, and it was sad, man, because all of them were like so disappointed, and half of them were yelling and
Right.
screaming, the other half were like turning the
Practically
TV off. Like,
crying
I'm not
and
even watching
shit,
this
yeah.
anymore. Yeah. So it was sad.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
But
I mean, imagine
we're
if,
covering it
the hype we
because
have for
it's-
Tarkov, if they would,
Well, yeah,
if
exactly.
PSG did this to us, it's like, damn, that's
Absolutely.
devastating. That's rough. That hurts.
Yeah.
I get it, but
That's-
I laugh
yeah.
because it didn't happen to me, so.
Well,
But I
and
feel
it's
the
like
pain.
it didn't really affect me, but yes, I was wanting to play some more Arc Raiders.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was looking forward to it.
But it's not going to
Even
hurt me
me
to
being
wait.
disconnected. Like, yeah, I was hearing that happening. I was like, well, that sucks. I
Yeah.
was looking forward to playing that soon.
Well,
Devastating news to me, no, but sucks. Sucks for the gaming community as a whole.
Here's the other crazy thing. If they're going to release October 30th, that's primetime gaming season. That's when all the
that's big
titles release. Yeah. Because, holiday season is where you get your sales. Everyone's buying all their kids' stuff for the holidays. So you have COD, you have Battlefield. You just had the COD Black Ops 7 release trailer happen today at the Xbox Game Showcase.
I think Resident Evil 9 was revealed.
Yeah, I think it was 9.
Big title. Yeah, 9.
You got Battlefield 6 coming. I've been playing. Oops, actually, no, I haven't. I'm not allowed to say that.
Haven't.
Never mind. Squash that.
He's been playing fucking My Hero Academia Presidential Debate 36.
Yeah, I've been playing that, and it's really good. They've done a lot of cool things.
Yeah, it's just a hentai simulator.
No, but technically, I don't care. No one's gonna know. I've been playing the beta.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm not supposed to say that, so who cares?
Yeah, from what you've told me privately, like, it sounds cool. I might actually be interested in this.
It's definitely.
I've been taking a break from those kind of shooters for a while because of the repetitiveness, but this, like, it's just time, right?
Anybody who enjoyed like Battlefield 3, 4, it's
Right.
definitely that. It's like they're going for that. Like, you can tell it's back to the Battlefield 4-ish days.
Which is cool. That was a good one.
But Arc Raiders releasing with all that happening, and then you have Tarkov 1.0 also happening around that time.
Yeah, that's a ballsy time to come in.
Yeah, they're releasing with a bunch of competition when they had millions of people ready to give them their money right now.
Why they didn't just say, you know what, our bad, let's release the game. Like, we fucked up. We got to get this out there next week, today, tomorrow, whatever.
Drop an open beta, early access, and we'll continue to work on the game while we'll still drop the full release in October. But here's a playable version for all the people that's been waiting.
That seems like a better PR response than anything they just came up with.
Absolutely. Like, I don't. But anyways, it's just a weird thing.
It is weird. Sorry if you were looking forward to the Arc Raiders playtest.
Yeah, and I was, but I also wasn't.
Yeah, Arc Raiders game.
Because if they would have dropped it during,
they wouldn't have had my time.
Yeah, because we have been playing another game that is coming out. Well, not coming out, but is in playtesting, is in beta, and that is Active Matter.
Yes, sir. Before we go into the game, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, before we go into talking about the game, I applied to work with the content partnership program with them and was approved. So I am allowed. I think we're both. I think you're allowed as well, right? Like if you
Yeah,
decide,
yeah, yeah,
we can make content on it. We can cover anything we do in the playtesting, anything we want to cover in it. We can use their footage for whatever we want to use it for. Full
yeah. We
access
can
to just
stream it. We can
making
make
content,
videos, whatever.
streaming, yeah, everything and anything. So that's cool. If that was, I don't know what they had ruling wise before or anything like that, but
Um,
yeah, being able to do this now
y-
is cool. So yeah, we can make content on it. So expect at least maybe like a here's a our first thoughts and impressions on it, maybe a Talking Tarkov more involved
yeah,
with active matter, maybe just a video on active matter. But we definitely is this is a game that not gonna take over on Tarkov or anything, but it's a game I'm gonna dive into. It's a game I'm definitely putting
yeah.
time into. Super looking forward to it. But yeah, we got approved for
It's
the content partnership stuff, so we can make video and do all that. So
yeah. We'll dabble in it and make some
yeah,
stuff about it. But it's also, there's not much else to do right now. This is giving us something to do. And the beta is only running until the 15th, so we only have like 7 more days of it. But I'm sure we'll get something put together here soon. And it's more up my alley than Arc Raiders. Like, this is a first person shooter. It's still an extraction shooter, but it is the closest thing if you actually took Stalker and Tarkov and they had a baby, like that's what this is. That's the enemies, the AI are like Stalker, and then the
well they had
gunplay, gameplay is like Tarkov.
right, yeah.
Not quite,
That's
but
fair. No, that's fair though. It's similar,
yeah, yeah,
just for a general idea. But then you need to take that baby they made and inject it with some mutant DNA because it's so fucking wild.
yeah,
I guess the stalker aspect kind of fits the script, but not
yeah, yeah.
really because of the way they go
Almost,
into it is so sideways from anything we've seen in the genre.
yeah. It's more
You can even say
sci-fi
upside
than
down.
Stalker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's these matter
yeah.
balls.
Matter balls.
What's the matter balls?
That's that's my new name.
Matter balls. Yeah, that's good. There's these balls of matter that are on the maps for throughout the air locations, wherever, as well as black crystal substance type stuff on walls and different surfaces. Anywhere that there's black crystally areas, you can just traverse those, and if it's up a vertical wall, you just start walking vertical up the wall. But for the matter balls, you walk into those, not walk into those. You collect those.
Yeah, you collect those. There are some that you can walk
There's
into, and
some
if
that
you
you
do,
can,
it'll shoot you off into space. Like,
yeah,
you'll get thrown like 30, 40 feet up in the air.
yeah. I don't want
Um,
everybody thinking that every matter ball is
no,
a
no, you gotta be
launcher, but
careful.
there are some. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's ways to determine that in game. You'll figure that out if you get to play in the playtest. Um,
but yeah, it's not near as popular as Arc Raiders or any of
right.
the other games, but like it's still a very quiet like beta. Not very many people know about it. Um,
Yeah,
but I feel like once people really get to see it and get to understand it, it's gonna be very popular.
I think
The
so.
one downside, I think, is that it's ran by Gaijin, the same makers of Enlisted, War Thunder, um, games like that, free to play, high monetization.
Yeah,
But this game is supposed to be following the premium model, which means it's supposed to be you buy the game and the monetization is not as bad as the free to play
right.
games.
And if
So
they
we'll
do
see.
have a
As
lot of
of
monetization, it shouldn't be anything that's gameplay loop or mechanic related. It'll probably just be cosmetic type stuff, I would imagine.
hopefully,
I don't know. Yeah,
most of
I
their games
go pretty
are
heavy.
pay to win,
Yeah.
but this most of their games are free to play. This is the one that's not. So I'm hoping
Right.
they switch it up. They're clearly doing that for a reason. They know that it's a very competitive type game when you do extraction shooters, and the competition is part of the gameplay. So it's like
Right.
you can't just let people buy the win, or no one's going to play.
Yeah.
So I've been in their Discord for a while now. I've been talking to some of the staff, some of the developers. Like they know what they got, and they're saying they're not going to mess it up. So I got faith from what I've heard,
Yeah, I'm willing to give them
but
a shot because the game does look really cool.
it's it's still from a publishing company and development company that is known for bad
They want
monetization
money.
practices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they have hit games. They've done really well in that field. So if anything, they shouldn't need to monetize
Break
this.
off of this, yeah.
Yeah, this is their chance to actually break into like premium mainstream instead of free to play.
Right. Which could be good for him. It could be very good for
Yeah,
him, especially the way
yeah,
Active Matter feels right now. Yeah, I think so. I think that this could be a good way for them to come into the field. Um,
yeah,
it's a good game. It seems really cool. I haven't got a lot of time into it yet. We're gonna get on it right after we finish this up.
yeah,
But yeah, lots of cool features to it. Really interesting
yeah. A whole lot of stuff.
ideas behind it, and it seems really fun. It seems like a lot of fun. Like we said before we
It's
started the chat about it, we will be making a little bit of content on it, so we'll go further in depth. But yeah, just first glance, first look type stuff. It's cool. It's really interesting.
it's difficult. It's a very difficult game. It's
That's
not easy. Um,
which
I've
is
I've been playing quite a bit, and I'd say I probably have like I don't know, probably around 20 hours in now, and it's not what you would think really. Like it's got some jankiness. The movement's kind of got a Daisy-ish feel to it. Like you can lay down and like if you ADS, you can turn all the way around, go to your back, kind of like you do in DayZ. So it's got a little bit of the DayZ movement, but it mixed with the slowness, sluggishness of Tarkov, but almost too slow. Like you'll just have to look at some of the content we make because there's a lot going
it's
on, and
interesting. Yeah,
it's still beta.
it's very
So
early
it's not
beta. This is
perfect.
like a
Yeah,
pre-alpha beta
it's
or
not,
something like that. It's very early.
um, it
Or
might actually release
pre-alpha
soon.
beta. That's not what I meant.
I was gonna say this actually I think is a later beta. I think it's getting ready to
Yeah.
launch. Not launch fully, but maybe into early access.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I don't know. But it's interesting. It's got our attention, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's everything I've got for this week. It's
Yeah, I think
anything
that is
else?
everything. I can't think of anything else.
All right, well, outro and call it. That's all for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to like the video and let us know below your thoughts and opinions on these topics. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel. We're on the road to 1K, and it helps us out a lot. Plus, it keeps you up to date with all of our content. Thanks to all of our subscribers, and a special thanks to our channel members. We appreciate your support. If you'd like to help us out, consider becoming a channel member below. We'll catch you next week. See ya.